In the heart of a bustling metropolis, where neon lights flicker against a backdrop of towering skyscrapers, crime lurks in the shadows. This is a story of desperation, ambition, and the choices that lead individuals down a treacherous path. It follows the lives of three intertwined characters: Mark, a struggling artist; Sarah, a detective; and Victor, a notorious crime lord. Each character's journey reveals the complexities of crime and its impact on society. Chapter 1. The Struggle. Mark Thompson was a gifted artist, but like many in the city, he struggled to make ends meet. His small studio apartment, cluttered with canvases and paint, served as both his sanctuary and prison. Each month, the rent grew heavier, and the weight of his unfulfilled dreams pressed down on him. One evening, as Mark sat in his dimly lit studio, he received a phone call from an old friend, Jake. "Mark, I have an opportunity for you. Come meet me at the Blue Lounge," Jake urged. The Blue Lounge was known as a hotspot for the city's elite, a place where deals were made in shadows and whispers. Curiosity piqued, Mark agreed. He hoped this meeting could offer him a break, a chance to showcase his art. However, unknown to him, Jake was involved in a world far removed from the canvas. Chapter 2. The Underworld. As Mark entered the Blue Lounge, the atmosphere was electric. The room buzzed with laughter and clinking glasses, but beneath the surface, a darker reality thrived. Jake introduced him to Victor Reyes, a powerful figure in the criminal underworld. Victor was charismatic, with a magnetic presence that drew people in. "I've seen your work, Mark. You have talent, but talent doesn't pay the bills," he said, leaning forward with a sly smile. "I can help you. All I need is a favor in return." Mark hesitated, sensing the underlying threat. "What kind of favor?" he asked cautiously. Victor's eyes gleamed. "Just a small job. You'll earn enough to support your art and more." Desperation clouded Mark's judgment. As he weighed his options, the allure of financial stability began to overshadow his moral compass. He found himself nodding, sealing his fate. Chapter 3. The Detective. Meanwhile, Sarah Johnson, a seasoned detective in the city's police department, was investigating a string of art thefts linked to underground crime syndicates. She had seen the devastation crime brought to families and communities, and her resolve to bring justice was unwavering. On a rainy afternoon, Sarah received a tip-off about an upcoming art exhibition that Victor was hosting. The exhibition was rumored to showcase stolen pieces, and Sarah knew she had to find a way in. She carefully crafted a plan, knowing that infiltrating Victor's circle would be dangerous but necessary. Chapter 4. The Job. Mark's first assignment for Victor was to create a series of counterfeit paintings. "You'll replicate these pieces perfectly. They'll fetch a fortune on the black market," Victor instructed. Mark felt a knot in his stomach, but justified his actions as a means to an end. As days turned into weeks, Mark became deeply entrenched in the criminal world. He met other artists who had fallen into Victor's trap, all desperate for money and recognition. Each brushstroke felt like a betrayal of his values, but the thought of failure fueled his ambition. Chapter 5. The investigation detective Sarah, disguised as an art enthusiast, attended Victor's exhibition. The lavish event was filled with wealthy patrons, oblivious to the criminal activities lurking beneath the surface. As she mingled, she spotted Mark, who looked out of place among the elite. "Mark?" she whispered, pulling him aside. "You need to get out of this. You don't understand the danger you're in." Mark, conflicted, explained his situation. He felt trapped, caught between his dreams and the grip of a dangerous man. "You have to help me gather evidence against Victor," Sarah insisted. Mark hesitated but realized he could use this opportunity to break free from Victor's control. Chapter 6. The Turning Point. As Mark gathered information for Sarah, he discovered the extent of Victor's operations. The more he learned, the more he realized he was part of something far more sinister than he had imagined. Victims of Victor's schemes haunted his thoughts, and guilt consumed him. One night, Victor summoned Mark to discuss their next move. "We're moving a large shipment tomorrow. I need you to help oversee it," Victor ordered. Mark's heart raced. He knew this was a turning point. He could either comply and risk everything, or take a stand. Chapter 7. The Confrontation. The next day, Mark met with Sarah to share what he had learned. They devised a plan to ambush the shipment. As they approached Victor's hideout, tension filled the air. Sarah's team was waiting in the shadows, ready to intervene. As Victor's men began unloading the shipment, Sarah and her team moved in. "Police, you're under arrest," she shouted. Chaos erupted as Victor's men scrambled, but Mark stood frozen, torn between his past decisions and the chance for redemption. Victor, realizing the trap, glared at Mark. You traitor! You think you can escape this? He yelled. In that moment, Mark found his courage. I want out, Victor! I won't be a part of this anymore, he declared. Chapter 8. The Aftermath. With Victor's arrest, Mark finally felt a weight lift off his shoulders. He cooperated with the police, providing evidence that would help dismantle Victor's operation. Sarah, impressed by Mark's bravery, offered him a chance to turn his life around. Months later, Mark stood in a new gallery, showcasing his art, a reflection of his journey from darkness to light. Sarah attended, proud of the man he had become. As they spoke, Mark realized that while the shadows of the city would always linger, he had the power to redefine his path. Conclusion. Shadows of the City is a tale of crime, choices, and redemption. It highlights the struggles individuals face when caught in the web of criminality and the resilience required to break free. Mark's story serves as a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope for a brighter future.